Hello, 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 hello. Many, many thanks to you for clicking my thumbnail and to watch my content. Very much appreciated as always. And as you can tell from today's thumbnail, I'm going to be reviewing the 50th anniversary remastering of Judas Priest's debut album, Rocka Rolla. Now, like I say, it's 50 years old now. It came out in 1974. I bought my copy in 1979, so this was already 5 years old when I bought it. I can remember buying it at the time because I'd just bought Unleashed in the East, wanted to get some more Priest, and I saw this one, so I thought I'd get it. And then on my way home, I bumped into this lad that's in my local area, and he was a bit of a know-it-all, a bit of a mummy's boy. You know what Timothy wants, Timothy gets kind of lad. You know who I mean? That wasn't his name, Timothy. But he's like all sneery and no, you're not like it. It's not same as that. It's no, it's rubbish. It's horrible. Got it home. I absolutely loved it. So your boo sucks to him. And it's been one of my favourite albums, the Judas Priest catalogue, since then. So it's been what 45, 46 years that I've been listening to this album. So I heard that they were doing the remaster of it, and then I had to go out and get it. Now I know this has been available on streaming for over a year now, I think. I don't do streaming, so I was only ever going to get it on CD. And it came out last Friday, so I pre-ordered it. I got it Friday, which was first 31st of January, something like that. I got mine early, and listened to it yesterday. So I'm going to give you my honest opinion of it. And I've got windy pots because I've just had some peanut butter and jam on crackers. Excuse me. Okay, let's crack on. So, first of all, Rob Alford's vocals. Now, these have been cleaned up a lot, sound a lot more powerful than what they do on this album. I also got the CD version when it was re-released on this double pack, so that was just a CD transference of this album. It wasn't remastered or anything. And his vocals a lot clearer and a lot more powerful, and that's a great thing. I absolutely like that. Secondly, his guitars. They have been cleaned up a hell of a lot too. So much to the point where you can actually hear Ian Hill's bass a lot clearer than you do on the original recording. They sound a lot more crisper now, and I'm not saying they sound like modern day metal, you know, like they played through Mesa Boogie dual rectifier or an Engel amp, something like that. It's not like that. They've been cleaned up. They're a lot more trebly because if you listen to albums back in the 70s, they had a very woody tone to them. Normally, it was either a Gibson or a Fender going straight through a Marshall stack, and because the technology of the day, it sounds very woody. You know, if you think of Richie Blackmore on Deep Purple albums in the 70s, Tony Iommi's sound in on Black Sabbath, Richie Blackmore in Deep Purple, wasn't it? Not Black Sabbath, and Tony Iommi in Black Sabbath. They both sounded very woody. They were still metal albums, but they sounded very woody. Got that woody tone to them. And this is where I'm on the fence with this because they're cleaned up, they sound a lot crisper, a lot punchier. But I think personally, it's lost some of the warmth. It's 1974. It's an album of its time. It's not supposed to sound sparkly and jangly, in my opinion. And I think it's lost a lot of the warmth. And one of my biggest gripes was on Winter Deep Freeze and Winter Retreat. I've always loved that portion of the record. Now, whenever I listen to this album or the CD, this version of the CD, it always evokes memories of me being a teenage lad laid on my bed in my bedroom, heavy metal posters all over. Usually thinking back to when it was winter, because, funnily enough, because of the name of the track, because that were the times when we used to get proper snow, not just quick flurry and it's gone. We used to get proper winters, and you got the, the street lighting gave you that yellow, orangey hue everywhere, and it looked fantastic, and always evoked memories of that to me. A couple of the tracks that do it for me, as a side note as well, are Which Finds, Leaving the Deer, and Hawkwind's the opening of Assault and Battery on there, Warrior on the Edge of Time. I always get that, that nostalgic, warm glow. I always got it with this original version, but on this one, because it's been cleaned up so much, I think it's lost some of that warmth. I just didn't get the memories evoked of that, because I thought, here we go, I'm going to really, really like this, and I think it spoilt it just a little bit. But that's just my opinion. Another gripe that I've got as well, the endings on it's Rocka Rolla, One for the Road, Rocka Rolla, and Caviar and Meths, especially on the remastered edition of One for the Road and Rocka Rolla. How they finished the tracks make it sound like it's come from a demo. In my honest opinion, I don't like what they've done with it. In fact, at the end of Rocka Rolla, just before the track cuts off, you can hear somebody talking, and that to me just sounds like one of the demos that I used to do. You record the demo and you go, oh, that were a good take, and it were always on there, and it was sort of like, well, it gives that a bit of, yeah, a bit of context for you that this isn't, high polished high end. It's a demo. It is what it is. This is supposed to be their debut album, and they've made it sound like these have come off the demo, in my opinion. Same for Caviar and Meths. The ending on that, I don't like the ending on that. On the original album, it was 2 minutes long, and it faded out. On this one, it sort of cuts off. I don't like how they've done it at all. But for the most part, the songs, they tried to make it sound more appealing to the modern ear, I think, more than anything. I dare say, my opinion again, you may think differently, but I think it's some kind of vanity piece, this, whether it's Tom Allen who's done it as a vanity piece, or whether the band wanted it doing. I particularly don't think it needed touching, unlike, say, Black Sabbath's Born Again, which sounded crap the day it came out. That is one album that metal fans are screaming to be remastered. I don't think this one needed it. It was 74, it's of its age, it's needed to sound woody, and I think that gave it a warmth that has been lost on this. You've got that more metallic edge. Like I say, I think they're just trying to get it to gel more with the catalogue that came after, but I think it's lost some of its warmth. If you're wondering what I mean by that, let's just imagine the film Jaws, right? Jaws came out in 75, a year after this was released. Now, if they were to take all the footage from Jaws and replace Bruce the Shark with a CGI AI shark, yes, it'd look a hell of a lot better, 100 times better, but the charm of Jaws, the film, was how rubbery the shark looked. That's part of the film. It's of its time. It looked rubbery. Some of the shots, it looked rubbish, yes, but that's the charm. That's the warmth of the film, And to put a CGI shark in, or AI shark to replace it, would take away some of the warmth out of that film, I think. And this is what I mean about this. I think they've taken away some of the warmth, some of the nostalgia of it. Now, if you're brand new to this album, you've never heard it before, then you're going to have a totally different view. You're going to say, no, this version's better, infinitely better. And if that's your point of view, fine. But when you've had this album in your collection for 50 years or 46 years in my case, you're sort of setting your ways. Yeah, okay, I admit that I may be setting my ways there, but I think that did it really need doing? I don't think it did. Have they succeeded in what they wanted to do with it, remastering in a way? But I wouldn't say they've ruined it, but there are parts of it where you go, oh, what was the thinking behind that? It's like on I'm getting glasses on because I can't see. Deep Freeze on the album version, you can hear Rob Halford saying "in deep freeze" over it. They've took that out. They've took that off this version, and it's just leaves it empty for me, because if you've heard this version, you know this version, and it's ingrained in your head. When something's taken away, it sticks out like a sore thumb, and that part for me stuck out like a sore thumb, and that's when I wasn't getting, the evocative memories from when I was a lad. So there you go. That's my review of Rocka Rolla. That's my thoughts on it. I think this is more of a vanity piece. Like I said, they tried to get it back into the catalogue, to sound more like how Priest were turning into, because Sad Wings of Destiny was a much heavier album. This was the Hello Everybody We're Here album, but I've always loved this album over Sad Wings of Destiny. Out of the two, I've always loved this album more. So there you go. That's my honest opinion of it. I'm glad I've got it. I'm glad I've heard it. Will I play it again? Yeah, I'm going to give it more spins. It'll probably grow on me, but it's going to take a hell of a lot to grow on me, because I'm just so used to the original one. If you've got this album or you've listened to the streamings and versions of it, let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you agree with me in parts? Do you totally disagree with me? Let's get a discussion going about it. So there we go. I don't think it needed remastering. I thought it was of its time. It's how it was. Warm and fuzzy memory. And this one's just, dare I say, cash grab? Who knows? I'll leave it up to you. Thanks for watching.